Your next comment comes from Hampshire College. My personal favorite of the 5. Not that I'm biased. He looks like he would be seen outside of any A24 movie premiere or trying desperately to touch Wes Anderson. Please give a very warm welcome to Gabe Whitney!
Alright, so everybody having a great night laughing? Okay, good, because we're going to talk about depression. And what is more depressing than Disney movies? Look, like, there's so many examples you can bring up. You know, you got, like, Bambi's mom getting shot, you got Simba getting trampled, you got the first 5 minutes of Up, you got the mere existence of Cars 2, you got the fact that they tried to trademark Day of the Dead to sell merchandise for Coco. There's just a lot of, like, you know, really desperate, like, depressing things you can talk about. But what affected me as an impressionable 5-year-old was the Tigger movie. So it's really hard for me to talk about this in a way that sounds like a rational adult, so I'm just gonna have to tell it to you with the clear understanding of the Winnie the Pooh cinematic universe and a lot of the lore that goes in there. So a key piece that is established in the first WCU movie, is that what you'd call it? A key piece of lore that is established is that Tigger is the only one of his kind. You know, there's like the wonderful thing about Tigger is that I'm the only one, and that's like, and no other movie has like dealt with this theme before. Until the Tigger movie, which is a revolutionary piece of this cinematic saga, in which we see how this like little piece of lore has a psychological effect on Tigger. And a psychological effect it does because Tigger spends Act 1 through Act 2 of this movie fucking depressed. We see him out in the cold, like shivering, with snow piled up on his head, crying because he doesn't have a family. There's a scene where he hangs over the side of a bridge. It is like a fucking Darren Aronofsky movie. It is crazy. Anyway. So as a kid, I thought that I was going to be left alone watching this and like out in the cold and not with a family, so that was fun. Anyway, so like then that leads to the Act 2 crisis, in which Tigger's friends, this conflict is more forced than like any rom-com ever. Tigger's friends get the idea to cheer him up, not by saying, "Hey, we're there for you, buddy." They all don Tigger disguises and show up at his house posed as his family. Okay, so imagine, like your roommate is like super like homesick and they want to see your grandmother. Instead of trying to cheer them up, you show up at their dorm one day wearing their grandmother's flesh, and you're like, "Oh, Jeremy, it's me, your grandmother. I made you almond cookies," and then like the flesh is like peeling off. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Tigger sees through the grandma flesh disguise and gets even more depressed and wanders out into a blizzard. Which that's Tigger's way of saying like, "Come on, Void, take me, just fucking take me." And he's just out there alone, and it's just like depressing. It's like Eeyore made the series depressing enough. And he gets caught in an avalanche. And we see a boulder hit him, and he's careening off the side of a mountain. Eyes closed, not moving. As a kid, I took that as Tigger giving up. His family doesn't exist. His friends try to cheer him up by wearing his fake grandma's skin. And all that awaits him is the icy abyss below him. Of course he doesn't die. The movie has a happy ending. He uses this technique, and this is important, it's set up in Act 1. It's like the Chekhov's gun of this story. He uses a technique called the whoop-de-doop-der, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce, and gets his way out of the avalanche, and his friends are there for him, and it's okay. Happy ending. Not a happy ending for me. I don't think I would have had depression if it was not for this movie. I feel like this movie fucked me up. Like the fucking trailer for the Tigger movie should have been, "Join Tigger on a magical quest to save his family. Jump along with 4 new original songs and old friends. Coming soon to video and DVD. Warning. The following film contains existential dread that might make your child depressed. The Walt Disney Company and all of its subsidiaries are not responsible for those who take their own lives after watching the Tigger movie. Thank you, and buy more of our products." Don't show your kids the Tigger movie, everybody. Have a good night.
Everybody keep it up for Gabe.